Good morning, or good afternoon, good evening. I know, like for Benjamin, it is the middle of the night. It just turned Sunday for him because he's in Australia. Yeah, I'd be sleeping if I was him. I would not be awake. Mags is sleeping, apparently. Then we have Hillary. It's afternoon for Hillary. Who else is here? Oh, Mags has been chatting with people in the chat all morning. So we have Lynette.
Sharon was in early. There she is.
Lynette, Sharon, Janine, Chris. Hello, Karen. Oh, look, you're outside.
Karen Lowe.
Morning.
Karen
Lowe is here, and we'll tell you why she's here in a minute. So we'll just keep on going.
Okay. We have Thomas and John. John is in Ireland, I believe. Yes.
David's here from England, from London.
Then we have Kathy. We had David from London. And I said Hillary. Did I miss anybody? Tommy, Buck, and then Chris. And yeah.
Ben, you're crazy. You are just crazy.
And then my mom.
Where's Joe?
She's right there. She just said hi.
There she is.
Everybody missed you last week, Mom.
We did.
They were all very sad.
Yeah, and boy, Sarah was a bit crazy because you weren't here to keep her in line. Sheesh.
I know, we got really off track.
Crazy woman. Anybody want M&Ms?
Yes, so thank you. Oh. Karen's just grabbing.
Like, which side are they on?
You missed Sarah.
I think Mindy.
Lynette says she missed Sarah and Kiki.
When? Oh, last week when she wasn't here.
I do, but I think it got too hot here and mine shrunk. They're just little bitty ones.
I feel you. That's why I'm outside, because I can be here for about 15 minutes before we have to run back to the air conditioning.
Benjamin. Oh, look, it's Alesh. Alesh is afternoon for him, too.
Hey, Alesh.
Late evening.
And he's by the seashore or the lakeshore. Seashore or lakeshore?
She sells seashells on the seashore.
Hey, Louis Kessler.
Hi, Louis.
Hey, Louis.
Look, it's Pip. I haven't seen Pip. Pip, where have you been?
He's such a sweet talker.
He has the first thing he has to say because he knows he's been missing.
Yeah, he's been missing.
It's been a while. It's been a while. And then Benjamin said if it was the middle of the night, he wouldn't be here. He said it's not that late for him right now. Midnight is not that late for him.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Hello, Willow Dean.
Still recovering from a full week of research.
He's been working hard.
Good. I heard we've busted down how many brick walls?
Last week?
Just in general, I've heard that we
hit our big goal of going past 500, and we did that during Jarrett Ross's week, so it was very exciting.
That's amazing.
That's 500. Do we think we'll reach 1,000 by the end of the year?
Never know.
I mean, it's kind of half. We're a little bit over halfway, but you never know.
Hey, Sarah.
The rest week.
Yes.
Guess what?
What?
We have a question of the week. Did you know that?
And I think we have a special guest here too.
Yeah. Karen Lowe is the brand. She's so shiny new. We should be like polishing her to get the shine off. She is the brand new DNA project leader. Woohoo! Yay, Karen!
Congrats.
We're so excited, and we're so everybody is excited about working with you. I am. But then again, I have always liked working with you.
You're always excited.
Aren't we all?
I am. I'm excited about everything. Oh, look, a bird.
Oh, she's also easily distracted.
What? Huh? So we have a question of the week. Let me share my screen. And let's see. Share screen. You know, I should have this set up before.
Da-na-na-na.
There we go. We have great answers for question of the week. We have 47 answers.
You're not sharing your screen, Mags. We don't see it.
Oh,
Is it there now? There we go.
Yes.
yes.
All right, Lan, let me make her bigger. Woo! Oh my!
That's really big.
Way too
So
close. Oh,
Yikes! Okay, there we go. Question of the week: what surprises did you find from DNA testing? Did a DNA test reveal any surprises for you or your family? Tell us about them with the answer below. You could also use the question image to share your answer with friends and family on social media.
Ooh,
Karen, have
Yes,
you
ma'am.
ever had a surprise in your DNA?
I have. I was sitting at Roots Tech a couple years ago while Johnny Pearl was demoing his new, at the time, What Are the Odds tool. And it was super timely because I had just had a new surprise, quite close cousin. And I immediately started making my hypothesis and plugging in all the centimorgan matches, and I was struggling, and so I showed my screen to Blaine Bettinger, who was in the audience afterwards, because Johnny Pearl, of course, was mobbed with questions from the audience. And he just looked at it, and, you know, since he does that shared centimorgan project, he knows these numbers so well that he just looked and he pointed to my aunt and my father and said, try adding a half sibling right there. And I did. And now later doing our genealogy, that Diana Souther would say, you got to do your genealogy. And that's what we figured out, that as so often happens, it's real hard for grandma to sneak in an extra cousin on you without anybody noticing. But grandpa brought us an extra half cousin.
That's fun.
Yeah, I've also been surprised by folks turning up in parts of the family that have adoption. Like my first husband was adopted, and his half brother and half nephews all turned up on Ancestry, and so that, along with some records, led us to learn about my daughter's grandparents.
Nice, and they're from my area of the world. So.
They sure are. That family's from Western North Carolina, so not at all far from Spartanburg and Greenville area of South Carolina.
Yeah, and Pip's up in Hendersonville, so close
exactly. Yeah, in fact, the biological family is from Cherokee County, and the adoption is from Asheville, so it's all quite close to you and Pip.
That's
your Roots and Pips.
Yeah, we're probably related. So the questions were really good, and going along with what Karen said, James Brooks says, well, the biggest surprise in my life was finding that my maternal family, through a DNA test in 2018, from a first cousin matched my birth mother, who unfortunately passed away, and 12 years younger maternal half-brother, in a family who has received me with open arms, even though no one had any idea that he existed. That's so cool. Perfect July 4th holiday. Now, I have to say that I actually worked on this back when this happened. So I was actually involved in this.
Oh, with Wittens.
Yes, from Chris Witten, our WikiTreeer in chief. A few years ago, a man named Keith Witten found one of my WikiTree profiles and sent a private message to me saying that we might be distant cousins. Keith said he thought that my Brickwall Witten ancestor, Samuel H. Witten, was the brother of his ancestor, Richard Eli Witten. Honestly, I was a little skeptical about our connection. Keith's sources were second and third hand family genealogies. I'd done as much research as I could years ago and couldn't find any record for Samuel Witten's parents. Frank, Gill, and others, that would be me, even helped here on G2G and couldn't break through the brick wall. But working with Keith's Y-DNA, we were able to figure it out and get some information and some sources. And we found his revolutionary veteran, Richard Witten. And so he posted his stuff on July 5th for his pension application. So that was really
right, and that listed the two brothers right there in the pension. It says Richard, age 16, and Samuel, age 14. Which is because Keith had said, "I think our ancestors are brothers," and Chris said, "Not as far as I've found." And
right.
it was right there.
Yeah, it was. And Mercy, that's a very unusual name, and that helped a lot in the research too, because Mercy is not a normal name for somebody. So that was great. Alexis Nelson, you're always telling us really great things. And hers was that she just realized that her origins, she was a little bit surprised by finding out that she was 9% Germanic. She knew about the Scottish and the English, but she expected to find Irish. But finding that she was a bit Germanic was cool. And other people talking about Dieter finding out, I don't know if Dieter's here today, Dieter finding out that his Eastern European Russian DNA was a part of his stuff. 7% Baltic states. And fun. Lots of fun stuff. Gail Connolly talking about 2 second cousins found me through DNA, each one on my father's side, my mother's side. Easy.
Yeah, those second cousins are so great for the DNA matches. It really is a sweet spot to help you, because they only share one grandparent instead of both, so that I find them more useful in a way than first cousins, because you've got so much DNA in common with those.
Yeah, with those first cousins. Let's see. There was one more. Janine in here this morning?
Yes, she is.
I cannot reveal the names, but a third cousin on my father's side found me. They were adopted and helped this person figure out, it was on my dad's side, and who their third great grandparents were. It's interesting having people who are adopted contact you. Have you had people that are adopted contact you?
Yes. In my Hall family from Indiana, some folks from Indiana that names changed because they all live in the same town. Yeah.
That's so cool. Let's go on. I've got some other stuff. Stephen
Tomaszewicz.
Yeah, I know.
He's usually in here.
He just got a DNA confirmation from a second cousin today, though I already had a connection through him through his family tree. I hope to find other matches and aid him in connecting to my dad's side more. Cool.
Oh, yeah, because there's probably not as many testers named Tomaszewicz than there are named Golden and Lowe and Brown and Smith in the community. So those matches are so valuable.
Golden doesn't have any matches anywhere else. So, yeah, Golden is a unicorn. It's not related to the Goldens. Yeah, so if there's a Golden with any spelling and name, I know they're my cousin. And look, Pip Shepherd, who's this guy?
Pip.
He says, well, actually, yes, a fella on, it's such a Western Carolina thing to say, a fella on FTDNA contacted me because we share the same subclade with about 14 other men on a big Y test.
What's a subclade?
What's that?
I said, what's a subclade? That sounds like a group of the Y DNA inside a haplogroup, much smaller class.
Yeah, it's like if you look at a tree, it's the part way out on the very tip of the limb of the tree. That's a
right. So a super valuable match, unlike all of my RM269, and that's all we know.
Yeah. Have you run any haplogroup predictors for your RM269?
I have not. We only have Y67 on my late brother, but we've got a cousin who has big Y.
Have you uploaded to binowydna.org?
I believe so.
There is a Y haplogroup predictor on that kit. Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I know.
My dad ended up with RU106 as 74%, so I thought that was cool.
Ooh,
so
I'm gonna do that.
Back to Pip's answer. Sharing the same subclade with about 14 other men, big Y test, we had someone compare our SNPs to see whether a smaller group of us might be related in more recent times. Turns out that two of them with the same Holcomb ancestor are closely related. However, this discovery is going to require more research. These Holcombs believe their Holcomb ancestor had a shepherd father, but other families located. Boy, Pip, your shepherds were getting around, eh? Anyway, great discoveries. I love this one. I love this one. Can you
tell? I wonder who posted that.
And look at how similar these two look. It's like there's a mini-me, Mindy Silva. We found out my husband's DNA test that his uncle had a biological daughter. He was told he could not have children and adopted two. His biological daughter was given up as a baby by the mother, who never told the father about the pregnancy. They were reunited late in life.
We had the same story in East Tennessee with my great uncle, who sadly had passed away quite early, and he and his wife weren't able to have children, and so we were so pleased when we learned that he had a biological son.
Well, and what's interesting is the uncle lives here in Kentucky, and the daughter's in England.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's gone over there with his wife, and he's met her two children and her two grandchildren that he knew nothing about.
It must give him a really big thrill to see her, because she is so his, obviously, you know, and he was told he could never have children.
Right.
I know, and they live streamed it when she first flew in to the airport, and we were all like crying like babies. It was so amazing. It was so amazing.
Cute. And it's so adorable. I love family resemblances like that. Oh, let's see that, and that was basically it. Anybody else have anything in the chat about any DNA discoveries you?
They've been chatting around in the chat.
They're too busy chatting to tell us. Oh, my first cousin was adopted into my family, and she recently flew to Virginia to meet her biological parents. So that was such an exciting story.
Yeah, John said he found an elder brother of his third great grandmother in Scotland through DNA, and he thought my third great grandmother was the eldest, and turns out she was the second child. And then Hillary's saying she has two kids for her uncles to do Y-DNA tests, and she needs to have them do them.
Yeah, and she's been put off by COVID, but we hope COVID gets the light at the end of the tunnel soon, and you can get those tests.
We hope so.
I recently upgraded my dad to a Y111 test. I can't afford the big Y stuff yet, but thought I would do that.
Yeah, John and I think Pip said they did the Y500. Yeah, John did the Y500.
Betsy Coe wants to know from Hillary. I know that there are cheek swab tests too, but spit tests seem to be most common. What company do you use? Sorry if you already mentioned it was late in the morning. The spit tests are common, but I think that the cheek scrapes are pretty common too, because if you have an elderly person that you're wanting to get them to fill up a spit tube, it's very hard for older individuals to develop enough saliva to fill that tube. So if you're going somewhere and somebody's elderly and you have a spit tube to fill, be very patient with them and gentle, because it may take them a long time to develop enough saliva to fill that test spit tube. Actually, sometimes it's better to ask for a cheek scraper for those.
Right, because not only is it hard to work up that much saliva, but so often they don't find enough DNA sample in the saliva. So when we are using those tests, I think it's really valuable to just kind of scrape our teeth on our cheeks like the swab would be doing.
Yep.
You know, so we can make sure to get some of those cheek cells. You know, don't chomp yourself. Don't injure yourself, of course. But
and Louis Kessler actually answered your question.
Stop it, Mags.
Ancestry and 23andMe and me do spit, but you can ask them to send you a cheek swab if you know you're working with elderly people. And FTDNA and MyHeritage do swabs. So.
And I know that you can ask, or at least in the past, you could ask DNA. You could tell them you're testing an elder or anyone who has a sense of their own mortality, it used to be you could get them to send you a double sample kit to just in case you go to, scrape together the money for that big Y later and then find that your elder is no longer with you to give to take another test. Sometimes they'll store extra sample for you.
Someone was asking from Ben Molesworth on G2G if they could get a DNA test from a deceased wife's hair. Yes, you can. However, if that hair has been handled a lot, you could have other contact DNA that ends up in it. So it's best to have something that was cut and then put in a locket or kept put away so that it hasn't been cross-contaminated.
But also need to be from the root, right?
No, not anymore.
Oh, really?
It used to be. It used to be from the root, but here lately they don't need the root anymore.
That's what Lieutenant Commander Data said on Next Generation. I remember he was like, "It has a follicle." When the
not anymore.
And then, what's the latest from To the Letter DNA?
I haven't heard anything from the latest from them, but I want to send them some. I don't want to part with my cherished things and have them cut it all up. I have postcards from my great grandfather, and I don't know if he spit on the stamp or not. And the last thing really to do for the question of the week here is Pip says the suppositions of my ethnicity range widely from test to test to test. And that is because different people have tested with different testing companies. So if you are French or have French ancestry and you're looking for French heritage, you're going to end up finding French Canadians and not people from France because testing in France has been illegal. So there aren't a lot of French testers, but there are those French Canadian connections. If you are looking for a lot of Jewish ancestry, you might want to consider going with MyHeritage because MyHeritage is located in Israel. However, they're not Israel specific. They have a wide range of testers. But yeah, it depends on the pool of people that you're testing with. And every time you test with different people or different companies, you're going to be including yourself in a group of different testers. So that's why they change.
Right. And every year when we revise those estimates at the different companies, we have a new thing to complain about. Last year I was too Swedish, and this year I'm too Welsh.
At Ancestry, I'm too Scottish. I don't have any Scottish roots that I know of, and I'm like 49% Scottish at Ancestry, only because there are a lot of people on Ancestry who claim that heritage. So, all right. Thank you so much, Karen. I'm so excited.
Yes, we're going to head up into the mountains because we're heading for 105 degrees down here in town.
Yeah, you're going to go look at some wildflowers.
I am. Our Wasatch Wildflower Festival is this weekend and next.
Well, you have fun, and thank you so much for stopping by.
Yes.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. That was fun.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess now we'll go into our profiles of the week, which are I think they're pretty fun. Inventors. A bunch of, I guess I should probably share my screen. Inventors.
Who?
Inventors. A whole bunch of different. And our main, this is going to be a fun one, I think. The main connection is Otto, who was the inventor of sliced bread. I feel like that always comes up as like the next best thing, sliced bread.
Sliced bread.
Yes. And that's thanks to Otto, we have sliced bread. So while I am going over them, do I have any that might be difficult to pronounce? Thomas, have you been working on those for me? Okay, so we have Otto, inventor of sliced bread. Oh, look, his background is bread. So he was born in 1880 in Iowa, died in 1960 in Michigan. Inventor of the sliced bread machine and other inventions. What else did he invent? It doesn't say what else he invented, but what else? Nothing else matters besides sliced bread. So there we go. Sliced bread.
Does it talk about the reasoning behind why he decided to invent sliced bread?
No, not in his bio. That'd be interesting. Oh, now you've caused me.
Yeah, well, isn't that what we do in here? Is we talk about stuff
We're
and
gonna
then
go down a rabbit hole.
We go down rabbit holes.
Okay.
We should change this from the Saturday morning LiveCast to the Saturday morning rabbit hole.
So according to the Wikipedia snippet from Google, he says he invented the first single loaf bread slicing machine. St. Louis baker Gustav Papendick bought Rodwetter's second bread slicer and set out to prove it by devising a way to keep the slices together at least long enough to allow the loaves to be wrapped. Okay, that doesn't really answer the question. So probably he invented the machine to make it easier to slice the bread for sandwiches.
So he didn't actually invent sliced bread.
Well, he did because there was already bread, but nobody was slicing it.
Okay.
Like you tore a chunk off.
Nobody was slicing it already for sandwiches?
I did a timeline for one of my great grandpas, and it's funny the things you find if you look during their lifetime. Like one of the things on there was the invention of rolled toilet paper.
I think is that one of them? The flushing toilet. Oh, not the. Okay, hold on. I guess, well, if anybody wants to do some more digging as to why, if he really invented, actually, because it said here he's the inventor of the sliced bread machine, not necessarily sliced bread. So, probably just to make it easier.
I think the original sliced bread machine was a knife and an arm.
Why, thank you, Meg.
And elbow grease. I dropped an M&M.
Okay. So, thanks to Josephine, we no longer have to wash dishes by hand because of the dishwasher. Yay! I hate doing dishes, so it was wonderful. So born in 1841 in Ohio and died in 1913 in Illinois. She's on a stamp, apparently. Is that a stamp? Yeah. But in Romania? That's interesting. I guess Romania really likes that she made a dishwasher.
I'm 17 degrees from her. She's actually not my closest one this week. That's surprising.
So apparently in the 1900 census, she was listed as the manufacturer of washing machines on there. That's interesting. That's cool.
She's my closest this week.
Ooh, who's my closest?
I got to pull your thing up and I'll tell you.
Mine is John Patch.
She made the first
16 degrees.
She made the first practical mechanical dishwasher in 1886, although washing machine device was patented in 1850 by Joel Houghton, but she made the first practical one. Apparently the one before was not.
You got three. You got Arthur Ganong. Oh, wait. No, Josephine Cochran. I should have known.
Oh.
Josephine Cochran is your closest at 18.
Thank you. My cousin invented a dishwasher. Thank you, cousin. I don't know if I'm actually related to her, but oh my gosh, all these people, thank you. This one, he invented the ice cream scoop. We love ice cream, don't we? So he was born in 1866 in Virginia and died in 1919 in Pennsylvania. Oh, look at this. Look at his little pathogen ice cream scoop.
Isn't that cute?
It was really cute.
Yes.
I wonder how they did it before. Did they just use like a spoon or
like sliced bread? That whole sliced
bread. Or just grab it with your hand.
Was just a knife.
And So apparently he attended local schools and worked with his father in the carpentry trade as a young man, becoming interested in mechanics. And he went to Washington, D.C., where he attended the Wayland Seminary, one of the schools founded by the American Baptist Home Mission Society to help educate African Americans after the Civil War. And then his patent, he was 30 years old when he was granted his patent for the ice cream mold and disher.
Your mama says that she bets she's connected to him.
Well, if I'm connected, she's probably connected through me. And then,
Thank you,
look,
Jillian.
oh my gosh. So it says, so here it says the Pittsburgh Press reported that the invention could fill 40 to 50 ice cream dishes in a minute and does away with the soiling of the hands, because I guess they just use their hands, according to this newspaper.
No.
Spoon. A spoon, and then use your finger to knock it off the spoon.
I know, but just thought, I know they're not using their hands.
Okay, who has a phone vibrating? Pip, is that you? I can hear a vibration.
Oh, no, that's mine. Sorry.
Yeah, I keep hearing that.
Okay, next we have Herman Snellen measures for visual acuity, the chart for visual acuity, and he's from the Netherlands.
Snellen.
So,
What a name.
oh look, he made that little the chart.
Oh yeah, the chart.
Eye chart.
The chart. The Snellen chart. I guess that. Oh, this is all in a language. All in. Okay. Nope. Okay. Born in 1834. And all the rest of it was not in English. So I'm sorry, guys. But
You just right click it and say translate to English.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't see Snellen in the list unless I'm blind.
Mine does not want to translate.
I don't see how you're related to him because I don't see him in our list on our profile.
No, my browser does not want to translate all of this into English. But thank you.
Snellen is right after John Patch.
We should probably
24 degrees for me, and thank you very much. 27 for you.
Okay, next we have Nicholas Appert invented the father of canning, the French inventor of an airtight food preservation. And he described his invention as a way of conserving all kinds of food substances in containers. And thank you. You know, now we can can stuff and keep it all preserved in cans. He was born in 1749. He opened a confectioner's shop in 1784. And he was active in the French Revolution. He actually spent a few months in prison. And then after his release, he focused on his work on finding solutions to the weakness of food preservation process known at the time called smoking and preservatives such as salt, alcohol, vinegar, fat, sugar, etc., and which were only partially effective and quite costly. And so then he created the canning process.
I am going to be working on his invention after the livecast today because I am going to be brewing a batch of mead. Just thought I'd throw it out there.
Also, he was also apparently the inventor of broth in tablets, processes for clarifying fermented drinks, condensed milk, and the first preserved milk. Very cool. You can thank him for your canning abilities, Max.
I don't have any canning abilities. I just know how to brew some mead. Mead's good to have in the winter, so I brew it now.
I like to can.
Next, we have another great inventor who invented the individual chocolate bar. And they're from Canada. Arthur Ganong, born in 1877 in Canada, died in 1960. Apparently Arthur used to go fishing with Ganong chocolatier George Ensor, and they would take chunks of chocolate along in their pockets, but their body heat would melt the chocolate and make a mess. So they wrapped the chocolate in cellophane. And in 1898, Ganong Brothers began selling individual chocolate bars, the first company in North America to do so. And in 1910, they began adding nuts to the chocolate bars.
Melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
And so in 1920, the Ganong brothers named their nut and chocolate bars Palomine. And apparently in 1930, in the Canadian federal election, Arthur was elected the Progressive Conservative Party of Canada Member of Parliament for the Charlotte riding, serving until 1935. Do you see? Are these still around? These Palomines?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
I guess we'll have to
Correct.
let's
Louis
look it
Kessler.
up.
Louis Kessler, you know that answer better than I do.
Chocolate bar. Can we buy it? Doesn't look like it. Can I buy it? I can buy a bar for.
Oh, I recognize the Gangnong name.
Yep. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Okay. Very good. So chocolate. Thank you. Okay.
You're faster on the uptake on that one, Mindy.
Next we have another great invention by John Harrington, the flushing toilet.
Oh, my word.
What would we do without the flushing toilet? Things would be very... I mean, I'm sure somebody eventually would have discovered it later.
You're 20 degrees from him through a private person who is your dad. So on your dad's side.
It's always through my dad. Always. Usually. The one time I was through my mom wasn't on here. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was born in 1560 in London. And he was an English writer in addition to being an accomplished poet and courtier. John is credited with inventing the first English flushing toilet.
There, Lewis answered. I recognize the Gangnong name, but not that particular candy bar. Thank you, Lewis.
Yeah, I've never seen one in my life either, but I am not in Canada. So, okay. So what prompted him to create the flushing toilet? Which is what I want to know.
Do you know how they used to do the toilets back in the day? They had the toilet. Yeah, there was. They had a toilet at the top of the castle, and it just had a big chute that went down, and then people would shovel it all out at the bottom. And there were even there were assassination attempts on royals, and that's how. What's the name of the person? There's like the Privy Council. There were people that were in the privy with the king to make sure he was safe and all of that. So
interesting. Apparently, there's a whole bunch of written stuff about the toilet. I guess he was a writer. Interesting. Well, thank you, Sir John, for creating the flushing toilet.
If we find one, it might be so old you wouldn't want it. Then
probably, yeah.
But if I find one, I promise you, if I see one, I'm going to look. If I see one, I will send you one.
So next we have Emil Berliner, who created the phonograph record and the gramophone, and for founding the Dutch gramophone. I don't know if I guess it's a little bit different, but he obviously.
Sarah, did you know that Joe is going to go visit Ben?
Yeah, I know. She keeps talking about it. she's ready. She's ready to go.
She wants to go anywhere.
Yeah. She's excited I want to see her in August, and we're all excited. So
You know what? I'm going to be in South Carolina in August, I hope.
I think that's
August.
what you were saying.
Yeah. Got my shot yesterday.
I saw. So Emil was born in Germany and died in Washington, D.C. I don't really know what phonograph record is. Oh, I should have known that, but the name just did not click in my brain.
You didn't. Wait. Did you just say what I think you said?
I didn't. I don't know. I know what that is, but just the name didn't.
Okay.
Click.
All right.
I know what that is. I know what it is. Thank you. And then the gramophone, is that similar? Gramophone. Yeah, I guess it's the same thing.
Certain individuals in the chat would like to see Joe on camera in August.
Oh, Mom, you're gonna have to come on.
And he's asking very politely. She could come on right now if she wanted to. You want the link? I'll send it to you, Joe. How is your Saturday morning look? I mean, is it as good as the rest of us? You got to look as good as we do.
Okay, then we have three more still. Oh my good, Lancelot de Mole, the tracked armored vehicle. Who invented the tank? Huh. Thank you, Lancelot, from Australia. Look at that. He was an engineer and inventor. He invented the military tank while living in Perth in 1912. The original model of his tank is in the National War Museum at Canberra. Are you able to go see that, Ben? That National War Museum? And for his work in this connection, he was awarded the CBE. And he was born in. Okay, that's just his little thing when he died. But that's cool.
Sarah, when you are done with going through the connections, Alesh would like you to play around with a little bit and do a stress test of the new My Connections button on the category pages.
Okay, I know we played with it a little bit last week too. Next we have Von Zeppelin.
Yeah, good one. I was expecting you to try and do the whole thing. I was waiting.
Ferdinand Adolf Henrik August von Zeppelin.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah, I actually wrote kind of most of his biography last year. So I know Zeppelin. Obviously he made the little floating Zeppelin
airships.
The airship.
Airships.
He was a German general and the inventor of the first lighter-than-air rigid dirigible airship known as the Zeppelin. And he was actually during the Civil War. He came here where he visited a balloon camp, and that's where he kind of he was inspired to build his Zeppelin because he took his first balloon flight in St. Paul, Minnesota. And he began to seriously invest his time into airship when he retired from the military at the age of 52. And he had a whole bunch of different models of his Zeppelins. The first one was a flop, and took a while to get funding again. And he made some other models. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I learned a lot when this is cool. This is a cool little Zeppelin. So, and he's German.
You're 23 degrees from him, and it goes up through your father's side.
My father.
Always.
Oh, look, and Thomas added the translation thing. I guess I saw that. You probably won't be able to hear it.
Nope.
You probably didn't hear it, but it's
Yeah,
there.
you can't. You don't want to have it too loud this morning.
Usually you can't hear it. You can't hear sounds that come from my computer, apparently, though.
I wish you could hear this huge storm just moved over us, and there's thunder and lightning, and it's pouring rain. I heard a couple of branches hit the roof. They said no tornadoes out of it, just lots of rain.
And then the last one on our list, John Patch, invented the screw-type propeller from Canada.
That's my closest, 16.
The screw-type propeller, he invented it in 1833, and although this was 4 years before anyone else patched the propeller, he never profited from his invention and died in poverty. Oh. So now I have to look at what does this screw-type propeller look like?
What? Go look at your boat. Have you ever been on a boat?
Oh, that. Yes, I have been on a boat. I just like to have. I'm a visual person. I need to see.
You want to? Yeah. There they are. They used his design in the U.S. or the CSS Hunley, the Confederate submarine that was sunk.
That's cool. There's probably a lot of people who invented stuff and they never profited from it, like poor John Patch, born in 1781 in Canada.
Oh, Canada.
And that's it. Those are all of our connections.
You get it honest, but you're going to go and show some fun stuff for Alish.
Okay, we're going to go to the connection finder. What is Alish exactly? He wants me to break it. Is that what he wants?
Yeah, he wants you to break it.
So let's go to my... So this is my furthest one, actually 50 degrees. So let's see. So
I think you need to test it from a category, though.
A category?
A category. So pick a profile and pick one of the categories that's on it.
Okay, I guess we'll go to Alfred. Go to the bottom. I guess.
Just pick one. Now go up to the connection on the upper right.
Let's see, Pennsylvania inventors. None found for me. And then connections. And it's limited to 20, so that guy's not
he's not a good one to pick.
50. Why don't we put somebody else's wiki ID? Anybody? Okay, well, let's see John Patch. Let's see.
Here we go.
Nova Scotia notables. Oh, it's taking a while to load.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I break it, Alesh. It's what you wanted. Is there a lot of people on this page? Is that?
This is, if you're wondering what's going on, this is a new part of our show called Break WikiTree. It's the Break WikiTree segment.
Can we break WikiTree? I think I did it. I think it's happening.
Pip Shepard suggests going to a cemetery category.
Ooh, that would be fun. So I actually have a few ancestors and cousins. I go back 57 generations.
I'm checking the category Daughters of the American Revolution.
Gotta click this. So Sarah and Sarah, I just happened to click, are 25th cousins 5 times removed. I have 3 other common ancestors with this person. And then connections. Alesh, why does it say it's limited to 20 degrees, but there's 21 degrees here? Why? Is it like within the 20s or is it 21?
Can I show mine real quick?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So this is Daughters of the American Revolution.
Oh, man.
And then connections. So some of them, if you find the right category, they're going to be really long.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to actually have any of the Nova Scotia ones, so that was cool.
Didn't you have some 40s though in there? You had some 40s going on. He says it only goes up to 30.
It says it goes up to 20. It was all a lie.
Furthest one, 49 generations.
Yep.
And so let's look at a cemetery category. I'm just going to pick a random one. Let's go to North America.
Pick a cemetery near you.
I'm not sharing my screen. Oops. Who's pressing buttons? Okay.
I pressed nothing.
I put it up and you took it off.
I didn't touch nothing.
Okay, let's do Virginia cemeteries.
M&M for Megs for being so good.
Okay. And then let's
for once.
Richmond cemeteries. I don't know. Let's pick Oakland. Okay, I just picked a random cemetery. Let's see what happens. In Richmond, Virginia. I picked Virginia because I feel like I might have, cousins there.
Not a lot, though.
No. It'd be interesting to do the cemetery of one of my ancestors and see what happens. That'd be fun.
June book just came in. June, we have had an action-packed show today. You're going to have to go back and watch it again.
Let's go. I'm going to go to one of my ancestors' cemeteries, and I want to see what happens. Oh, I didn't put him. Okay, I guess we'll do Matthews County. That'll be fun. I'm going to be related to all of them. Oh, like my grandfather. Look at all of them. Oh, not really many. It was less than I thought. Maybe because I don't have that many. Maybe I need to put more in the category. But then it tells you exactly who's my ancestor. That's cool. Do we want to look at anything else with the connection finder?
Have we broken things enough?
I thought I did, but let's just said it was loading. So
yeah. Well, is that not breaking it? That so many people are trying it?
Make it faster. Make it faster.
Buy more server space.
Oh, look, this has 78 more common ancestors between me and this person.
Janine Eiselman is asking you to try ancestor Denton-127 and profile Eiselman 1.
Oh, just to see how they're connected?
To see if that breaks it, I don't know.
Okay, so Denton 127.
And Alexis, it's all working.
Yeah.
I think there was an implied thank you there. I think he said thank you, and that he really likes our helping him this morning.
Did I do the right one? It's your ninth great grandfather, Janine. Was that? I did it.
I did it.
I did it. Okay. So we have 5 minutes left, so it doesn't look like we'll have time to look at the photos, unfortunately. Yeah, to help find more cousins and categories that you might not know you have. Definitely a cool tool.
Yay.
Always new things on WikiTree. Okay, do we have any questions or anything else we wanted to talk about?
We have the challenge.
I was going to say,
yes, the challenge,
Mindy, what about the challenge? I kept waiting for you to say, hey, Mindy, what about the challenge?
So
how is that challenge going, Mindy?
I don't know. Going?
Hey, Mindy, how's the challenge going?
Thank you for asking me. The challenge is actually going really well. We have another all-Dutch guest star this week, John Boeren. And so his ancestry was not quite as far as Yvette Hoytink's, as far as a starting point, but it's all Dutch. So we've got people that have just been working around the clock in there, and it's been a lot of fun. And I can say that we'll have more bounty points than last week.
Yay.
So,
John, I love John. He is just wonderful.
And if you want to read more about the WikiTree challenge, go to wikitree.com and look in our forum. Links to everything. It's nice to see everybody in Discord.
Yes.
We actually had last week's guest was Jarrett Ross, and he's joined in Discord now, and he's reading the novel of information that was in his channel for his week. So he's really enjoying that. And then next week, we have someone that can't look in Discord, Mr. Lewis Kessler.
We're watching you, Lewis.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Been super exciting. And if you want to see the wrap up for John and the kickoff for
Lewis.
Yes. Lewis, you're next, Lewis. It's we've been talking about it all this time, and you're next. So Wednesday at 8 p.m. Correct. At the same time, same place on Wednesday. Come watch.
Yes.
So as we wrap up.
Well, we wrap up John Boeren, so I don't know if it'll be earlier than that.
Because of his time difference. So just keep an eye out for the time. Just
watch for the announcement.
Keep your eyes peeled, and then we will have Lewis. We'll have Lewis on to interview him. We'll get to know all about him.
We'll know. We already know so much about Lewis.
We know too much. No, Lewis.
Yeah.
We don't even need to interview you. We'll just skip that part. We don't.
We're excited though. We're excited to be starting his week, and he's going to have some really tough brick walls too. So.
Ooh, maybe Ben was just saying that Julie should add that category to date night. What are you laughing at, Max?
Just Kiki's new outfit and hairdo.
I know.
Kiki's right behind
her new hairstyle.
Yeah,
we're loving it.
Got a dye job.
Oh, that is a good question, Tommy. How many profiles currently don't have a category? Do we know? Is that? I'm sure that's a number that can be cool.
Figure that one out real quick.
Lesh, math, go.
Math.
Do some mathing.
Well, while I'm sure that's something that WikiTree Plus could do, or the I don't know. I don't know if there's just way to magical number. I'm sorry guys for no photos, but you can go look at the photos yourself. I know it's my favorite part. But you can go look at them. We got sidetracked by inventions and connection finder categories and all of that. Hello, Bradley17.
Hi, Bradley.
And the question of the
Dylan65 is me.
We did go over with the question of the week because we had special guests.
Yes, we did. It was a lot of fun.
It's always an unpredictable time on Saturday. We never know what will be asked.
Never know. You never know what rabbit hole we're going to go down.
Alesh, math. What math? The math we're talking about is how many profiles
do you not have a category?
Alesh, you weren't just hanging on our every word, Alesh.
So you do that. We'll get back to you on how many, unless you can magically. But I don't think it'll happen that quickly. But until next time, I'll have an answer for you. Alesh, I expect an answer So next Saturday, same time, same place, Wednesday at 8 p.m. And we will see you next time. Goodbye. 27